What's up, gearheads? It's Trev. We're back at the garage, and today I'm going to be fixing my multi-function switch. First things first, anytime you're taking off your steering wheel, you need to take off your airbag. Anytime you're taking out your airbag, disconnect the battery. And once you have the battery disconnected, you're actually going to want to let it sit for a while. Very important to follow safety rules when it comes to airbags. Last thing you want is to deploy your airbag and get punched right in the face. To take the wheel off, you start out on each side. Right back here is an 8mm bolt, and that's to pull the airbag out. So we'll take those out. Now the airbag's loose and it can pull out. Make sure you don't put a lot of tension on these wires. Disconnect them. You got the horn and the airbag. Basically, you just pull it right off. Try not to drop your airbag module. Set it aside. Okay, next step, disconnect your cruise control. $13mm bolt. Now we're going to grab our puller. Doesn't even come close. Okay, so in 03, Chrysler changed the way the wheel works, and this does not accept a normal steering wheel puller. You need a two-pronged puller to push this off. I went ahead and got one, except this piece right here in the middle is not nearly long enough. So I'm going to test my own strength here. Put this bolt in, start it so I don't hit myself in the face, and I'm just going to try and yank the wheel right off. See how that works. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. No, I'm not. You know, it's crazy. I've got a regular steering wheel puller for lots of old cars. I've got the special compression tool for the ring in a GM column in conjunction with the steering wheel puller. I've got a couple other different pullers, and yet the puller, I still don't have the correct puller for this wheel, and the puller that I bought today, the stud in the middle that does the puts the pressure down, is too friggin' short. What the hell? So I did a little hacking here. I found a couple of nuts to stuff in there to kind of space it out. So let's see what happens now. Okay, I guess I better go tack these together. Let's see how this works. Welded together a few nuts. Yeah, you guys have seen examples of my welding before, so don't get picky. I got a feeling this puller is gonna pop off before the wheel does. Come on. You know, I say all the time that I like old cars better than new cars. This is the exact reason I say stuff like that. Chrysler, what the hell is wrong with adding just a little bit more aluminum in these two spots, a couple of tapped holes, so you can use a regular style steering wheel puller? You got this stupid little freaking stepped piece back here that leaves no room for a puller to grab onto, and it just keeps snapping off. This is the stupidest freaking setup I really don't understand new cars. This isn't even new. This is a 2003. Give me a carburetor and as few parts as possible. I'll take that all day long. Just this new design crap. I'm sorry. Yes, I know some of it's more efficient. I know we're making more power than ever and getting better gas mileage than ever. But this is stupid. This is stupid. Okay, multifunction switch attempt 2. I got the bolts out of here. I'm going to disconnect the wires. I borrowed a much more heavy-duty puller from one of my buddies who has a shop. And this thing can actually tighten the jaws down before putting pressure. So we're going to try this. I think I'm going to need my little custom spacer. This steering wheel is one of those designs that when you need to work on it, you find out it's one of those deals where you just want to meet the engineer who designed it and punch him right in the mouth. Okay, hopefully I don't die. Hey, look at that. And my little redneck spacer held up just long enough. Ha! Helps to have the professional grade tools sometimes. Okay, all the wires go through the middle. And there's our steering wheel. So now we need to get to the multifunction switch. So I'm going to take these plastics off and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've never done a multifunction switch on a Wrangler before. This is my new to me multifunction switch. I believe it was Davies Jeeps a call. They're out in Ohio. All sorts of used parts, guaranteed to work. Pretty good prices too. They have sales. Definitely worth checking them out. Not that I'm trying to plug them or anything, but just I was impressed with their service. Anyway, steering wheel off, covers off. For those of you who don't know or haven't seen this before, this is your clock spring. Do not F this up. Your clock spring tells the vehicle where the steering wheel is and works with the airbag. So if you mess this up, you can have a lot of airbag problems and it's not cheap. The new to me, multifunction switch looks like it's basically just the 2 Torx bolts to hold it in up top, and then it should unplug from the back, which I see a couple of cables going in there. So I'm gonna loosen it up and see if I can unplug it and change this out. Be mindful unplugging these. They have locking tabs on the back. Oh, it's not my day. Oh, that hurts so bad. Okay. Do not grab the multifunction switch. Ah, the arms. Because you will pinch the hell out of your finger. I know I'm being a baby, but oh my God, did that hurt. You know what the bitch is about having to do all this? Is I have an 03 Wrangler. 02 and down does not have this stupid ass multi-function switch. Let's put everything into one super expensive unit. It has a headlight switch over here, a fog lamp switch down here. So my fog lamp switch failed. My fog lights won't go off. That's why I'm changing this. Were it a slightly older Jeep, I would just change the one switch in the dash. I wouldn't have to take my steering wheel off, which is a stupid setup for the steering wheel, so I could change my fog lamp switch behind the steering wheel, which is a stupid setup for the fog lamp switch. These modern day car manufacturing styles, whatever you want to call them, these freaking guys need to get their heads out of their ass. Or, you know what? The problem is, they know what they're doing. You got to take the back to the dealer for most people these days. It's not as easy. There's not as many backyard mechanics. You know, I'm sorry, that deters me from buying a vehicle, having too much freaking bull in it, like this. Keep them simple. You will gain my business, you as a manufacturer will gain my business by selling a simple car rather than selling something that's just over the top and I can't even touch it. But I guess that's what most people want these days. I don't know. I don't get it. So we got that pretty much all together. Tuck in little boots. Okay. Nice and pretty. Now, time to put the steering wheel back on. So take all our cords, bring back through the middle, slide the wheel back on, which, by the way, you can't really mess up because if you'll see, it's keyed. So it's going to go right back on where it started. Now I can reconnect the battery, and then the only thing I need to do is remember where the fuse is that I pulled for the fog lights and put it back in its proper place. And then we can test out all the new switches, make sure that they function properly. All right.